Good morning. This is Anka Metcalf with the MarketFi Forex Weekly Coaching Program. Today, January 30th, 2014, and it is a little bit past 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm here to bring you an update on the market and the trades that we're currently in. So I'm looking at the euro dollar daily chart as we have it right here, right in front of us, and price action is fastly approaching that 3500 area. That is a fulcrum number. I drew here the price Fibonacci price retracements from this previous swing low to this previous swing high to get a little bit in-depth information about different levels of support and resistance. We had signal that triggered at 1.3700. You could see this spike right here with this topping tail a little bit earlier on this week on the 27th, so that's 3 days ago. And this came as a breach of this previous swing high that suggested a continuation to a previous high of 3800 was imminent in price action. So far, we see the price contained from this 3500 level whole number into 3700 whole number as well. So you could see that the price action is doing this pendulum effect throughout these 200 pip range. So far, I am still bullish on this currency pair and at least until 1.3500 proves not to hold the support area onto the daily chart and even on the smaller time frame charts. Now, I just want to show you, so this is a daily chart you could see right here, and this is a weekly chart. You could see right here the uptrend, and you could see this level, the 61% level from this previous swing low to this swing high, how it corrected. So if this number holds, then we have odds that this currency pair may continue higher once price action picks up again. If it should do so in the following days, and once it trades above the 1.36 area, then it has high odds of continuing higher into the 3.7 area. So far, it is into an area of retracement, still very bullish onto the weekly chart. It's still residing in this cluster right here. Like I said, price contained between 3500 and 3700. Moving down to the daily chart, you could see it right here, the ascending support trend line that is right above in this area where it is trading right now. So we might get a little bit of pressure right here. From this area. And when we zoom into the 4-hour chart, now take a look at last week's price action. This is last week's price action with a very mild correction, and then again it bursted higher, crossing the 1.3700, which suggested that the price was stabilizing at this 3650 area right here, very close to the 38.2 level. And it had higher odds of continuing into 3750, and like I said, into a previous number of 3800, 3850, and going closer into a previous swing high, very close to 1.3900. So far, we're getting a little bit of sell action right here, coming into 3520 support area and 3500. So we're going to keep on analyzing. You could see the bilateral action going on to the 4-hour chart. And there, the bilateral action, like I said, is contained into a large frame. So therefore, when we look at the daily chart and the weekly chart, we must trade it with a trend. If you're a swing trader, you must trade with a trend. So therefore, we are still looking for a swing position long in the euro dollar currency pair. Now, let's take a look at the pound dollar and see how it is shaping up. And I'm going to start with the larger time frame with the daily chart for our analysis today. You could see the ascending support trend line going on right here, very close to a support of 6400. At the same time, you could see that we had daily support, horizontal support into and it came very close to the 6500 number. That came a little bit below at 1.6470 area. We breached that area a little bit, tested it lower a little bit into the 6440 area, and then you could see as buyers stepped in and pushed it higher a little bit, testing the 6500 area. Now let's zoom into the 4-hour chart and see how the price action is shaping up for today. You can see that it crossed today's low, which means that it's weakening onto the intraday level only, and tested support. Like I said earlier on the daily chart, you saw that bottoming tail right there at the 6470 area. Buyers stepped in, took it from this level right here a little bit higher, consolidating, trying to consolidate right here. We're still forming a little bit of an intraday downtrend right here, but still the support forming here, and I'm gonna draw a little trend line just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna delete this here. I'm gonna put a trend line. So once we trade over this 6550 area, we're gonna get probably more bullish price action continuing to the upside. Now, we all know that last week we had a good pop in the euro dollar and the pound dollar, and probably this week it took some time to digest the area, you know, there's a correction in place right now, but probably if we maintain the support levels intact, and if the support levels will keep and maintain that level in order to propel it higher, we might have positive price action, and the pound and the dollar might have odds of continuing higher into next week due to the bullish chart onto the higher time frames. And remember, the higher time frames are the ones that are dictating the trend for all the other smaller time frames and even for the intraday time frames. Now, what I want to do is zoom in a little bit on the 15-minute chart for those of you that are day traders. Now, I know a little bit late in the day. It's 11:20 a.m. Eastern time right now. So if you would, you know, like to take, let's say, like I said, it's a little late in the day, but if you're looking to take a quick scalp or take a quick trade, I encourage you to look at the 15-minute chart price and how price is contained and how price action works. So far right here we have resistance right above this 6500 area, and if you see price triggering higher, you can try along above 1.6520, and this is for day traders alone, for those of you that are looking for small moves. If you see this area break right below 6490, you could take it for a correction lower into the 6470 area for a first target, and take it for a second target into the 1.6440 area, like I said, for a second target. So this is the bias, short-term bias, very, very short-term bias by the end of the trading day today for the pound dollar. And let's take a quick look again. So for some intraday ideas for the euro dollar, you can see that much more selling pressure is stepping in right here, trying to drag this currency pair below the 3.500 level. Now, as you can see right here, once it crossed, it tended to stabilize at the 1.3565 area. You could see the multiple candles, the cluster that formed right here, and stabilized into the 3587 and between 3587 and 3565. Now, this would have been the trigger for the short-term scalp or short for this currency pair. Now, let's take a look at a time frame that would set up better for a potential trade into this area to take it below 1.3500. As we know, that area is an area of interest, is a fulcrum, and it is an area that a lot of traders pay attention to. Zooming into the 1 minute chart, this was the big break, like I've mentioned earlier, below 1.3565. Continue lower, another cluster of consolidation right here for those of you that are scalpers in the market. And so far you don't have an entry. I'm looking at all the time frames to have a potential stop right here in place. You can see the cluster that formed right here that I've talked about earlier. So this would have been a good entry right here, right below this pivot point line at 3.565. And to continue lower into the 3550. Moving in again at the larger time frames to see for potential targets. As you can see right here, getting super close, 3.540. So again, we don't have an entry, intraday entry for this currency pair. It is already rolling to the downside, a lot of support on the 1 hour chart, on the daily chart as well, on the 4 hour chart. So and this also coincides with this ascending support trend line. So this was all for today's updates for the euro dollar and for the pound dollar. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Just message me right here on MarketFi. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.